Sleep Hacking with London Real, brought to you by Bulletproof. Learn how to hack your sleep.
You're here to give an award. It's the Sam Adams Award, and it's going to Private Manning. Is that right? And that same award went to Edward Snowden last year?
That's correct. That's what we went to Russia to deliver. It's Sam Adams Associates is a group of a lot of former CIA and Intel professionals who want to recognize acts of courage in the intelligence community. And they've made a point of always delivering this award in person to the extent possible. And that's why we ended up going to Russia last year. Obviously Chelsea Manning's in jail right now, but a representative of Chelsea's choosing will accept the award on her behalf. But Tom can tell you more about Sam Adams himself.
Well, there's real history. It goes back to the Vietnam era, which is really a seminal period in U.S. history, which is also the foundation in terms of what happened after the Cold War to understand what has happened. But Sam Adams actually found out about the books. The numbers were being cooked in terms of the strength of the North Vietnamese and their presence within South Vietnam. And so they made the numbers much higher than they really were. And he actually wrote a book about it. And the Sam Adams Associates Integrity Intelligence Award is a tribute really to Sam Adams.
And why Professor Manning getting that award this year, as opposed to a previous year?
Because in previous years, unfortunately, because of the court-martial that was ongoing, he had not confessed to being a source for WikiLeaks. So to give him an award for that would have undermined that defense. But now that he has gone public about giving information to WikiLeaks and why he did it, it's safe. And now that the court-martial is over, it's safe. It's not going to jeopardize him or it's not going to hurt him legally or personally to do that.
What is the state of union of WikiLeaks? What are they doing these days? What else can they do, and what are they planning to do? I don't hear about them as much as I used to. I know they do a lot of things behind the scenes. I didn't know how much they were involved with Snowden.
I think they're doing a lot, actually, an amazing amount that Julian Assange has been able to do from the confines of the embassy. They're still a very active organization. I think they will soon be launching an amazing search tool. I can't get into that further.
You guys went and saw him this week. Are you seeing him this week?
We saw him while we were here because he is a prior recipient. Tom and I are both prior recipients. Annie Michon, who you know is a prior recipient. So we all try to gather once a year to the extent possible. When we went to Russia, it was myself and Tom, Ray McGovern, and Colleen Rowley, also a recipient. So we try to gather just for solidarity and to see each other. People are from around the world. But I think WikiLeaks is a strong organization and continues to make very important disclosures and will continue to do that. And certainly that model, Bradley Manning was the first whistleblower to engage in a large-scale digital so-called leak or disclosure of massive amounts of information. And Edward Snowden is a second, but I expect more of that will happen. And one of the ironies of having a secret surveillance state that is so locked down is it does create other safety valves. And one of those is people blowing the whistle. And while it may be counterintuitive, if the government really cared about stopping leaks, it would give whistleblowers meaningful protection rather than denying that protection to the very category of whistleblower you would most want to hear from, which are the people in national security and intelligence who have been engaged in the biggest scandals of the last decade, namely torture and secret surveillance.
This week on London Real, we have astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I wake up every morning astonished that an astrophysicist can have 1.7 million Twitter followers. The cosmos is anything where it's a frontier of human knowledge of how the world works. There's so many forces that want to deny a scientific truth just because it conflicts with their ideology. I've thought of myself, because I could wrestle, as sort of a defender of geeks. There is no teacher in any time in my life, from kindergarten through 12th grade and beyond, who ever would have said, he'll go far. And the act of finding out is the lesson, not the lesson itself.
On Sunday, London Real presents Neil deGrasse Tyson, Cosmos.
I'm happy to report that there's an appetite for the cosmos out there.